Day 3 in Kyoto. We've decided to take it easy today, which just means a bunch more walking, but that's because you can't see the things unless you go outside, so we're going to see all the things. We're going to go and see the Nishiki covered market again, which we saw last time, and which was great, and then we're going to go to a variety of temples, sort of a conglomerate of temples called daitoku-ji? Daitoku-ji? Uh-oh. Hopefully we'll get there okay. It's going to involve a lot of subways, which is fine, because the subway system here is great, as I said yesterday. This is great, but I could do with a slightly thicker futon. My hips keep jabbing into the floor. Here's one of many places I've hit my head in this ryokan. Here is another one. And another. This one's the door to our room. We realized last night that this is actually open to outside because it was raining in here. You would think, at least I would think, that Kyoto's system of subways and JR lines and private railways would be more difficult. Would make it more difficult to navigate because you're changing,
There's like JR Line, which does one thing, it's its own system. There's private railways, which are completely independent. And then there's the subway, which is another completely independent thing, but they're all owned by the city of Kyoto.
But they're all interfaced like they're the different lines of
one gigantic
one thing.
Well, it's like they recognize that you sometimes need to get onto different things to get around. It's like they care about public transit.
Oh, what a concept.
I know. Did you get what, just one?
Just one.
Yoink.
It looks amazing.
I'm just gonna assume it's candy. Japanese people seem to like them.
Go for it. Just one bite, huh?
Not on purpose. I tried to get some of the egg, but it started sliding off the stick. It's delicious.
Hello, friend. Ah, it's very rubbery. Alright, hell with it. That's really good. The egg actually completes the whole thing. Holy hell. That's supremely weird. We're now at a Shinto shrine. Basically in the market. At the end of the covered market, you go through a torii gate and there's this shrine. And it's so quiet here compared to how loud it is 30 feet away in the market. Everyone's being very respectful because it's a shrine, and you do, obviously.
It's really nice.
It's so wonderful and quiet here, and it's out of nowhere. It's a nice place to let that
Octopus settle?
taco tamago calm down, yeah.
I liked it.
I liked it too. It just caught me off guard.
Yeah, it's surprising.
It's a surprising flavor. walking from Nishiki Market to the next place we're going. Seems like an opportune time to tell you about the only strange interaction we had with a Japanese person this whole trip.
Yeah. We
so
still have a
far.
long trip to go.
So far.
We could meet other weird people.
But this was uniquely strange. This was near the bamboo grove in Arashima. We're walking down this path, and this woman starts talking to us in English, and she's like, "Hey, where are you from? Are you enjoying Kyoto? How's it going?" And we're like, "Oh, it's going great. This is really nice. You're being very friendly." And then she starts pitching us on this cafe that's down this sort of forest path that she's tending to, and talking about how the owner is an artist.
Okay, this all sounds nice. I'm not particularly hungry, but I will entertain this pitch.
And he knows the true Japan.
I feel like we're not making it sound as weird as it was.
And no, this is the one that got me. It was the you might be able to see
the surface of Japan.
The surface beauty of Japan, but he knows the real Japan.
And I mean, like, that's kind of intense.
It was a little odd.
But then we realized that she was one of like 4 people working at this thing, and they all had the same outfits on. Okay, they're uniforms. They all had the same haircuts. That's not. That's weird because they had really short hair.
They weren't really.
Which is not common here.
It was only a uniform. That's the thing, though, is it wasn't like a uniform like you'd find on like the rail lines or anything. They were just all wearing jeans and gray zip-up hoodies, and they had short brown hair.
Yeah, they all had they all looked identical.
Yeah, and it's like.
And now I'm getting a cult vibe off this.
It was very strange, and we're underselling how uncomfortable she made us.
Yeah, like it seems perfectly reasonable that she's just trying to do like a tourism upsell, which is fine. That doesn't bother me. This was like
weirdo vibes.
Like, join our cult, get married here, even though you're already married, get double married.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we were like, maybe when we come back, maybe we'll come back through this way. We found an alternate route.
Yeah, if you get accosted by those people and you're on this route, just be like, "Sprechen Sie Deutsch?" They probably don't speak German.
Ooh, clever. Hadn't thought of that. We're back at the Ryokan after visiting Daitoku-ji, which is a temple itself, but functionally a collection of 21 temples.
Yeah, but it's still like a working temple. Like there's still...
some of them, yeah.
So, I mean, some of them that you can go inside, some of them you can't.
5 are open to the public.
No, 4 open to the public.
Oh, 4, okay.
According to the sign. 5
right.
According to the guidebook. 4 according to the sign when we got there.
Interesting.
We went in 2.
Some of them are private. Private, probably.
Probably
private, according to one sign. Private, probably, no trespassing. But the 2 that we saw were amazing. One of them, of course, did not allow photography, but was quite lovely. It was a Zen garden that's been there for about 500 years.
490 years.
Yep.
Ain't NBD.
And the other one
did allow photography. That was even more spectacular.
It was just gorgeous. It was just so pretty. And they had posters up, pictures of it in the fall, which is even prettier.
Apparently that's the time to go, but
apparently,
it was still gorgeous in the summer. And so that was nice. If you're in Kyoto, I recommend doing that. The complex itself is free to get into, which is fine, but, you know, we don't see a ton. You do see some things, I mean, if you're cheap.
The one that we saw...
But if you're going to see one, it's...
it was worth it. It was only 400 yen. So for us, it's like $4, basically. Yeah. Worth it.
Yeah, but
the point being... we both decided our backs hurt. And so before we did anything else, we wanted to come back to the Ryokan and just sit. We swung by a 7-Eleven, each got some onigiri, which is really good. 7-Eleven onigiri, 7-Eleven food, just in general, convenience store food in Japan it's really good.
The thing is, that's because people eat it.
But like, people would eat it in North America if it was good.
Okay, but here's the thing. Like, North American convenience store food is trapped in a never-ending cycle, right?
Okay.
Like, it's not good, so people don't eat it unless they're drunk. So people know that it's not good, so they don't eat it. So it's not good. So
they could do some sort of campaign. They could be like a "it's not shit anymore" campaign. You would
have to sell people like. Look at how hard McDonald's is having to work to sell people on the fact that their food isn't horrific.
The point is, if you go to Japan, go to Lawson, go to 7-Eleven, go to Family Mart. Like, they're bento boxes and onigiris and stuff. Like, they're not
high cuisine.
They're not amazing. They're not what you'd get at like a family-run restaurant, but they're good.
Yeah.
And cheap.
And yeah, if you want, like, if you're like, I'm starving and I just need something to eat, you can get an onigiri for like $1.20 or something like that, or 120 yen. That price may vary depending on the exchange rate at the time.
Yeah.
But the point being, they're tasty and fast and good, right? Like, you're not eating a bunch of crap, which is amazing. Anyhow.
So now we're back here at the ryokan, enjoying one of the common areas, which has a couch.
Oh my god, it's got a little tiny sofa.
Like, and super tiny couch, and it's the best because sitting not on the floor is pretty great.
My back is so happy now.
It's a nice change for people like us who are used to not sitting on the floor. Oh, I saw the biggest fucking bumblebee in my life, by the way. What did the guy call it?
Maruhana bee.
Maruhana bee, which is what, round flower bee?
Round flower bee, which I'm pretty sure is him trying to say bumblebee, but, bumblebee is like advanced level English. Like, that's not something, that is not a regular word somebody who speaks some pretty good English honestly knows.
It's like the size of a cantaloupe with wings.
Oh yeah, it was huge. It was actually more like that.
It was, like, how big?
Like the length of my finger, maybe?
It was like... Sure. But it was fat. It was like this fat.
Yeah, round.
It was really, really big.
Round bee is a good adjective.
Yeah. Not okay with it. I love bumblebees.
It's harmless, though.
That's cool. Not okay with it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm using the fisheye lens here because this is going to be an example of why I am not to scale for this country. Here's the bathroom. And there's the shower, and this is the toilet. And if I open this door without leaving this door open, I can't actually get in. So I need to do that. Then I can close this door. Careful not to jam my fingers on the far side of that handle. Then I can step in here with the special bathroom slippers. And I close this door. Now I'm in the bathroom. Which is tricky, because look, it's just very small, okay? Though the robot toilet seat, that gets a thumbs up from me. Whoop, nearly fell backwards into the toilet. This is our street. This is our ryokan. This is the street our ryokan's on. And that's the Coca-Cola machine across the street. You can just barely see the Coffee Boss machine down the road. Sometimes I get coffee there. From the Coffee Boss. Then we went to dinner at a nearby ramen place that was fantastic. They did not speak English. And that was fine, because there was a machine that you entered the thing, you go, I want this, and it gives you a ticket, and you just hand the ticket to the guy, and he goes, hi, and makes you the thing. And I have never had proper sort of cold hot ramen before. You get a bowl of cold ramen. They cook it, and then they chill it, and it's a cold bowl with cold noodles, and then you get a bowl of very, very hot soup. And so you take your chopsticks, and you get a mouthful of the noodles, and you dip it in the hot soup, and then you eat it, and when you're eating it, it's warm instead of being cold or hot. It's warm. It was really, really good. Then we walked up to the supermarket, got some more yogurt for the morning, and now we are going to plan tomorrow, because we know that we're leaving Kyoto, and we're getting to Gifu. We have a hotel booked for Gifu. We know that that's our end goal, but the course of the day, sort of up in the air. The plan is to go on a ferry to an island in the middle of Lake Biwa, because there's a lake nearby called Lake Biwa that I thought was relevant to Kathleen, but it turns out is not really. And you can take a ferry to an island there. So we're going to do that, but the actual timing for where and when we do that, no idea. So we're going to figure that out.
This is a stupid story, but the reason why Graham thinks that lake is relevant to me is because the first time we were here, I was like, holy crap, I had no idea. Kyoto was so close to Lake Biwa. And Graham was like, what's Lake Biwa? I'm like, it's the biggest lake in Japan. He's like, oh wow, you know this like off the top of your head. This must be like an important thing or something to you. The reason I know this is because when I was in university, when I would get stressed out one of the things I would do, and you can still find some online, but they're not as popular as they used to be, is you can find webcams of just random Japanese things, like shrines. Sometimes you can move the webcams through an interface. It's kind of neat. Or parking lots, or pedestrian crosswalks. And one of the ones that I found was the Lake Biwa ferry parking lot webcam. Presumably, so if you're going to go take a ferry on Lake Biwa, you can see if it's fuck off full, and maybe you'll take the next one or something, or I don't know. The point being, when I was in university and stressed out, I would just watch these for a few minutes because I found them very soothing, and I couldn't afford to go to Japan, but I wanted to. So I was like, hey, it's like a window into Japan. So Graham was like, wow, Kathleen, you know all about Lake Biwa, so it must be special to you. And I had to fess up, actually, like, before he left on this trip. No, the only reason I know where this is because of this. And so, it's not like I've ever had any particular desire to go. I'm not going to go see the parking lot where the Lake Biwa ferry cam used to be pointed. I don't think it's online anymore either. Single tier. But we're going to go and look at Lake Biwa. That's not nothing.
Well, we're taking that ferry.
It's a different ferry.
Damn it! After some brief confirmation of actual train timetables, like, we knew this would be a day. But from one end of Lake Biwa, the largest lake in Japan, to the other end, the long way, on the main line, not even a Shinkansen, a little over an hour. So we've got time, is what I'm saying, to see some stuff. All right. Okay, so it's been like an hour, and I've learned 3 things. One, the Nagahama Chimbukushima ferry website English version is garbage. It just links you to a PDF of a different cruise. 2, Google Maps does not know where Nagahama Port is. We think we know where it is, but it doesn't know. 3, the ferry doesn't take reservations up to 3 days before we leave, which I would have known if the English website worked. So it's first come, first serve. So tomorrow, we're just going to wing it.